You know that feeling when you walk into your room and something is just off? The pillow isn't aligned. There's a cup on the table that shouldn't be there. A shirt is hanging slightly wrong. And even if you try to ignore it, your mind won't let you. It lingers. It nags. It pulls at your attention like a loose thread you can't stop picking. So you get up. You fix it. You clean it. And only then you can finally breathe. But here's the part you don't say out loud. It's not really about the mess. It's about what the mess does to you.
Most people will look at you and say, "You're just neat. You like things organised. You're a clean person." But that explanation feels shallow. Because if it was just about being clean, you wouldn't feel uneasy when things are out of place. You wouldn't feel that subtle tension in your chest, that quiet restlessness in your mind. So let's flip the narrative for a second. What if your need for a clean space isn't a personality trait? What if it's a protective mechanism? Psychologically, your environment is not just space. It's an extension of your internal state. And your brain is constantly scanning it for signals of safety or chaos. There's a concept in psychology called stimulus control, largely explored by behaviourists like B.F. Skinner. It suggests that your surroundings directly influence your behaviour, emotions, and even your sense of control. Now, combine that with another concept, cognitive load. The more visual clutter around you, the more your brain has to process, even subconsciously. And then there's hypervigilance, a state where your mind is always scanning for what's wrong. So when your space is messy, your brain doesn't just see objects. It sees unresolved signals, things that are not handled, things that are not safe, things that are not done. That's why cleaning doesn't just make your space better. It makes you feel better. Because you're not just organising your room, you're regulating your nervous system. Now here's where it gets deeper. This pattern usually doesn't start in adulthood. It starts much earlier. In environments where things felt unpredictable, where emotions weren't always stable, where control felt limited. Maybe nothing was ever settled. Maybe you had to adapt quickly. Maybe you learned that peace was something you had to create, not something you were given. So your brain adapted. It found something it could control. Your space, your surroundings, your environment. And over time, it wired itself to associate order with safety.
Clean space equals calm mind. Messy space? Something's wrong. And now you carry that wiring with you. So when someone says, "Relax, it's just a little mess," it doesn't feel small to you. Because to your nervous system, it's not just a mess, it's disruption. But here's the part most people get completely wrong. They think your need for cleanliness is about perfection. It's not. It's about peace.
You're not cleaning because you're obsessed. You're cleaning because you're trying to feel okay. Because when everything is in place, your thoughts slow down. Your chest feels lighter. Your mind stops racing. It's not control for the sake of control. It's control as a way to create emotional stability. And here's the paradox. The same trait people might call too much is actually rooted in something deeply human. Your need for safety, your need for clarity, your need for inner calm. But like every protective mechanism, it has a shadow. Because when your peace depends too much on external order, you can start to feel internally unstable when things aren't perfect.
You might struggle to relax in imperfect environments. You might feel anxious in spaces you don't control. You might even avoid situations where you can't fix the environment. So the real question isn't, why do you like things clean? The real question is, what does cleanliness give you that you're afraid of losing? Because once you understand that, everything changes. You realize it's not about the dishes, or the bed, or the arrangement of objects. It's about what those things represent. Control, safety, calm.
And here's the shift. You don't need to stop being a clean person. That's not the goal. The goal is to make sure your sense of peace isn't only tied to your environment. Because real freedom is this: being able to feel calm even when things are slightly out of place. Not because you've become careless, but because your nervous system no longer sees imperfection as danger. So tell me, do you keep your house clean because it brings you genuine peace? Or do you think it's the only way your mind has learned to feel safe in a world that often feels unpredictable? Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on our future deep dives into why you do what you do. The next video hits harder than this one. Click it.